Hi and welcome to the video. Today we are going to be learning how to do the chain stitch. So this is a really good stitch if you are brand new to crocheting. If you're kind of just getting started, this is really the first stitch that you do in almost any project or pattern that you make. So it's kind of important to learn. It's very simple, but it's definitely something that you want to make sure you know how to do because it's really kind of the foundation for a lot of projects. And then as well as starting projects, it can also be added for use for decorative touches or sometimes for more complicated stitches. So it's really just a basic, simple stitch that you kind of want to learn how to use. For today's video, we need a hook, crochet hook, and some yarn. And for this stitch, you can use any hook, any yarn. It doesn't really matter. You just want to kind of make sure that your yarn matches your hook in terms of weight. So the thicker the yarn, the bigger the hook, and then the thinner the yarn, the smaller hook. So to get started, what we need to do first is make a slip knot. And so this is kind of how I do it. You're going to cross your yarn over. So we see we have our short end over here and our long end over here. Then I'm going to take the long end and I'm going to push it through the loop here. I want to kind of grab it and then I just pull both of these down. Sometimes I'll pull the short one first. So there we go. So I've made my slip knot. I'm going to go ahead and put my hook through. And then now I'm going to pull the long end to tighten it up. And so there, now we have it. And we're ready to get started. I'm going to wrap my finger around here. And then I'm going to hold the short end of the yarn with the rest of my fingers here. And so that kind of just gives me enough tension. Yarn over and pull my hook through the loop. And that is it. That is my first chain stitch, and that really is as simple as this kind of stitch is. And so I can keep going and I can do more. So yarn over, pull through, and there we go. Now I have two. And so a lot of patterns you'll see, it'll be like chain 6 or chain 10 or chain 25. And so then that's what that means. That would be, 6, 10, or 25 of these little loops. And that is it. That is kind of just our basic stitch right there. Yarn over, pull through, and you see as I keep going it just gets longer and longer and longer. And so a lot of patterns will tell you, more complicated stitches, or it'll tell you to go back. And a question I get a lot is like, how do you add rows to the chain stitch? And really there are no rows to the chain stitch when you start adding rows. And if I were to start kind of crocheting back in this direction so that my project got like taller this way, I would be using a different stitch. Like when you chain stitch, it's always just going to be these independent little rows kind of hanging out by themselves. So to move on to add rows, that becomes a different stitch. But this is just a perfect stitch to work on when you're brand new. And once you master this, you can kind of move on to other things. This is the stitch that, I first learned when I was learning to crochet. My mom taught me, and I would just make long chains and endless chains until I kind of got good at it and I was ready to move on to more complicated stitches. So just in case you need to see it one more time, yarn over, I hook the yarn right with my hook here, and then you pull through the loop, and that is it. Well, I hope that video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can see more crocheting videos. Thanks. Bye.